Is it that okay because the female will is it because of the subtle part of the female, like emotion and all of that, or maybe you can explain further.
Like, for instance, maybe I should use myself as an example.
Okay.
I have a very, beloved wife who, I don't know whether it's just with a large heart. As long as she has the capacity, she wants to meet the need of everybody,
Mm.
whether it is from our own family or from our own family. So, and in fact, with time, because we have been together for quite an upward of about 40 years now, it has impacted on me positively as well. It has softening my, because as an accountant initially, I tend to be shrewd, frugal, and strict when it comes to making financial decisions. But now I'm beginning to temper justice with mercy, having better understanding of if you have the grace, extend it to others. So she has impacted me positively in making easy decision to release. Because the Bible says it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Yes, sir. Now, talking about habits, let's talk about financial habits, making positive financial habits. How can this be built over time? Whereby it's, we know that there are some people that are naturally stingy, even to themselves, but again, that's, I think, stinginess and being shrewd or frugal with money and also being a giver, you know, especially in all aspects. Some people say, I want to be a kingdom financier. I want to be this, I want to be that. But again, even while doing all of that, how can one build a positive financial, build and make it, or build a positive financial habits?
Yeah, there are some essential things that must be put in place to make that happen quite easily. I mentioned earlier, for instance, that when we are planning our finance for the year or in any season, we have to put all these factors into consideration when we are budgeting. We create a budget that that extensively track all our sources of income and expenditure. And once they are properly tracked, now executing or making them happen is very quite easy. You cannot spend more than what you have, but if you are able to capture all your resources extensively, both partners, the husband and the wife, captured every sources of your income, and you have a great idea of what is to come per time or per season or per year. Then it will be very easy for you to now allocate them to different requests and requirements for the season or for the year. So, and once that is done, you have made room and provision for both the extended members of the family. It will not be difficult. You also make it a habit of saving regularly, or how do I put it? I want to use a word that is more apt than just regular, because savings should be a responsibility, a necessity. No matter how small, you must be saving, whether it is monthly, depending on how your income is. If you're a business person, maybe it's seasonal or quarterly, but there must be commitment to saving. The same thing, no matter your perspective, no matter your calling, no matter your profession, you must take definite decision to have, knowledge. How do I put it now? Financial education is essential for every family. You must know the nitty-gritty of finances. Personal finances for that matter. So financial education is important. You must also try as much as possible to avoid impulsive, spending or buying in order not to go into debt. Before you make any commitment financially, you must consider the necessity of it, the relevance of it. Is it, appropriate at this time to do it, so that you will not just go into debt? Because if there is the burden of debt upon a family, uh, things will not work out properly. There will be pressures here and there. You should also try as much as possible to not just planning short term or medium term, plan as well for long term, you know, because there are vagaries, changes in seasons. And if they are not well captured in our long term, decision making, some of them will come unexpected, and they will become burden for us. So it's important that we cultivate the habit of budgeting, savings, be knowledgeable in financial education is important. To also avoid acquiring debt anyhow. There are some good debt that may become necessary. For instance, if it is in the course of your business, running your business, you can, take some long-term debt, because you have, plan the business in such a way that you know that the business will be able to pay back the debt and leave something, extra in return. So long-term planning is also essential. I don't know whether I've been able to address that
Okay.
question.
Yes, while you were speaking, this issue of planning came up, and I want us to go further in it. Now, there are some things that from the very day get go, you know that in few months this thing is expected to be paid, or you need to do. And there are some that, yes, we know impromptu, it comes in and suddenly you need to get it done. Things like school fees, things like your wife is pregnant, in 9 months the baby is going to come, you need to plan ahead.
Yeah.
Things like house rent, a lot of things like school, a lot. My That is different from other things that that, okay, yes, it comes in between. When it comes like that, you need to quickly get it done, so that we understand. But these basic things, gas bill, light bill, all of those bills that that you get to pay. So, and you do not plan ahead, and then suddenly you want to be a burden to someone else by saying, "Oh, my stuff is this." What do you have to say to people like that?
Thank God for the stage I am in life now. While we were growing up, in spite of the fact that I was a trained professional financial somebody, the nitty-gritty of running family, like you mentioned, bills, school fees, and things like that. When we were starting, not that I didn't know that they were my responsibility, but maybe because I was not used to it. It was so strange. At that time, thank God for my wife, she was the one managing all those things. I don't know whether I'm trying to see the way to present it in such a way that it will not show a man as an irresponsible person. No, good thing I was making money, but maybe I didn't just have the patience of sitting down to allocate, okay, this is for rent, this is for gas, this is for school fees. I will just make the money. And at that time, put it in an account. It became the responsibility of my wife to now do the allocation. So this one will go for school fees now. This one will go for savings now. This one, different allocations like that. But we passed that stage We lived together in England for over 20 years. Thank God for the way we sorted things out in that new environment also, because while we were in Africa, there was not too many things as bills, apart from school fees, rent, and maybe welfare, family welfare. But in England or in the United Kingdom, you have to pay for gas, pay for electricity, pay for maintenance, plumbing maintenance, and things like that, which we weathered the storm successfully. Now, for several years, we have been thinking, for instance, I'm speaking to you now, right now from Nigeria. Of course, you know, at a stage, we have to relocate back to our source, our African source. And we planned that for about 16 years before where we are now. We had a house before traveling out, but when we were to come back, that house is no longer fit for purpose.
Mm.
We have to, plan another one that will match both our status and our requirements of the modern day. So long term, we planned it together, where it requires joining cooperative society, believe you me, did that. So several other things that we did that thank God for where we are now. Because we know that we are used to 24/7 electricity where we are coming from. So when we are coming back, we made sure we put solar inverter in place that we are able to enjoy the same 24/7 here, right here in Nigeria. The capacity of the inverter is big enough that can carry all our equipment. When NEPA is around or when electricity is around, we use it. But if it is not around, we don't even know that it is not around because we already have an alternative source for that. So planning is very, very crucial and very essential. Now, I want to encourage every family to please, whatever you have to do to make your life comfortable as much as possible, do everything that it takes and make a good and great commitment to it, both of you. Let nobody see it as, yes, it's the responsibility of the man to carry the highest percentage of it, but no matter the little, and it could be the other way around. In fact, at the time, it was my wife's responsibility that is greater than my own contribution. But we weathered different storms and nobody knew what was happening. And God had been helping us. We are having the best of time. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to blow my own horn, but the truth has to be told.
Yes.
My wife celebrated 78th birthday on the 1st of September. So I'm not too young in the journey.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. That's really, really mind-blowing. Any final word, especially for young ones that are, on this path that that feels money grows from the tree? What would be your advice, sir?
Maybe my final word will not be different from what the scripture has said. The two must become one. There must be unity, there must be love, there must be oneness. And everybody should see the relationship as a commitment, because the divine purpose of God is for two to become one. And there is a reason for calling the two to become one, because they have a purpose to fulfill. That is why in the scripture, God said, it is not good for a man to be alone. I'm not advocating that everybody must marry, but the author of marriage said it is not good for a man to be alone. And when you now come together in marriage, you must respect the rule of the game. Husband, love your wife. You wife, submit to your husband as unto the Lord. Submit, and the word submission is, all encompassing, whether your love, your heart, your time, your treasure, everything about you must be humbly submitted. Praying that the man that is submitted to will also be able to love as Christ loved the church. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And to you out there, thank you too for being part of the show. Hopefully, you're able to make positive financial decisions from henceforth. And also, perhaps you've made errors. It can always be corrected. Until next time, when I come your way again, it's another edition of Let's Talk. Be safe.